Moving on, we got one of the games of the week, I would say. Maybe the game of the week, the Steelers taking on the 49ers. I understand not a lot of people are very high on the Steelers for whatever reason. Cam, I think they're one of the scariest teams in the whole field. I have them winning this game. I think the 49ers, who a lot of people will say are Super Bowl contenders, I'm not against that. I think when you look at the Steelers, first off, Kenny Pickett looked incredible in preseason. I understand it's preseason, but hearing everything in camp and whatnot, Kenny Pickett already showed you he has that if factor last year. When push came to shove and he had to make a play in the moment, as a rookie, he was able to do that. That's something I look for. You can't measure that, right? And so Kenny Pickett's got it. And I think he takes a step forward. You got Najee Harris. You're starting to hear about this emergence of Jaylen Warren, this running back that no one was talking about. Now he might have a role. You talk about the receivers. We're really high on Allen Robinson. Essentially the Rams got nothing for him. He is going to be a good player this year. I know you've been talking about him for a while. Robinson, you got Deontay Johnson, you got George Pickens, who I'm very high on as well, and Calvin Austin. Then you have Pat Freiermuth, who's a top 10 tight end. You got an offensive line that's now improved, going out and getting Sumalo in the offseason from the Philadelphia Eagles. The defense, I feel like everyone forgot about TJ Watt. He's back, by the way. Cam Hayward. You got Alex Highsmith. You go out and you get Joey Porter's kid, Joey Porter Jr. You have Patrick Peterson, who was a hell of a player last year. I know he's getting up there, but he's still a really good player. Minka Fitzpatrick. This defense, coupled with what they have on offense, I understand the Niners are the Niners. Brock Purdy coming out week 1. There's film on the guy now, okay? There's film on him. He's not at home. I like the Steelers in this game. I think they win by 10. I'm going to go 30-20.
Yeah. I think the Steelers, when it comes to what they bring to the table, I think they're spooky. Like you mentioned, the 49ers, they are solid now. Their defense is even spookier. But I do think you talked about TJ Watt, you got Bosa. Which one would you pick, Jake? I think hit a flip a coin. I think I'm going TJ Watt, right? I think at one point he was up for MVP of the league.
Bosa might not even play
football. Exactly. Bosa might not even play. Exactly. So the fact that TJ Watt is playing football, I think that's really important. And you think about just coaching, Mike Tomlin. You think about a guy that's making playoffs every year. I think I'm going to take Tomlin over Shanahan. Shanahan's seen the Super Bowl. He's been there, but I think Tomlin. Think about. He has that grizzle, Jake. He has that grizzle. I think it's been cool to see this offseason some of the players speak about him and talk about some of his isms, the Tomlinisms. And I'm like, okay, these people believe the table. So I think that's really important that the players believe in Tomlin and what he's bringing. And I like the Steelers, Jake, just kind of what they're doing. Like I said, this offseason, this whole year. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a tight game though, Jake. I'm gonna call this a 3-point game. That's what I call it.
I could see 30-27. I think. I mean, it really depends on what kind of Brock Purdy you're gonna get. I really have been open about my thoughts on that. I think he's still a solid player. I just don't buy that everything's going to be smooth sailing, especially against your first game of the year coming off this UCL injury and you're playing the Steelers defense. I mean, that is just on the road nonetheless. And Bosa might not play. I will say Christian McCaffrey is the key to that offense. Brandon Ayuk is another key to that offense. Those guys are going to have to step up. Ayuk is going to have to get open because Brock Purdy's not throwing into, double coverage or anything. He's not throwing it up. He needs to make sure you are open. So I think Ayuk, who can create that separation, gives him a shot. Obviously, Kittle. Debo, he's looking for a little bit of a comeback season here, so we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, I think you and I both have the Steelers in this one. We'll see what ends up happening. But this is
Jake. I'm excited about Hufanga. I'm excited to see him play ball. I think Pickett's gonna have to figure out how to be very accurate with the football because if not, Hufanga's gonna be taking that ball the other direction, and to strike the band up because he is an absolute ball player.
and he's got to know exactly where the two linebackers, Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, are at all times. They both were in our top 10, I Bleav, for linebackers. So gonna be a tough game, but I think the Steelers are ready for it. I think this is gonna be a season where we look back on like, hey, this feels nice to be right about this one, because a lot of people are out on the Steelers, and I don't know why.